A slave in chains had more life in him than you have right now. He had nothing, felt whole. You have everything, feel empty. I'm Zeus, 5,000 years watching you mortals repeat this exact pattern. I'll show you why your freedom is a prison more sophisticated than any chains. This hurts, but you want truth, don't you?
A Roman slave in 150 AD, owned, beaten, property, woke up knowing exactly why he existed. You wake up to an alarm, check your phone, and feel nothing, just emptiness you can't name. He had one path, you have infinite options. He felt purpose in his bones, you feel hollow in your chest. How did unlimited freedom create more emptiness than literal slavery? Because you built a prison from choices and called it living your best life. Let me show you how.
Quick test. If everything disappeared tomorrow, your job, your car, your followers, your achievements, your stuff, who would you be? That silence, that panic, that's your answer. The slave knew, strip his chains, he's still himself. His identity came from his people, his spirit, his role. You remove your possessions, you evaporate. Congratulations, you're so liberated that you literally don't exist without your purchase history and social media presence. 5,000 years I've watched mortals. You're the first generation who needs to buy themselves to exist. But here's what you don't know about why this happened.
You think you feel empty by accident? Adorable. Empty people are profitable. Empty people scroll more, buy more, work more, never stop consuming, never stop searching, never being useful. The system didn't break you, it built you, specifically, intentionally, to be permanently unsatisfied. The slave's master wanted obedience. Your masters? Ha 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 ha! They want something far more elegant. You voluntarily enslaving yourself while thanking them for the opportunity. So they gave you freedom, infinite choices, unlimited possibilities. Not because choice makes you happy, because choice paralyzes you, keeps you searching forever, never satisfied, always consuming, always producing, always empty. The slave had one meal, ate it, felt satisfied, done. You have 47 meal options within 2 miles. Still anxious you chose wrong. Still empty after eating. Still scrolling food porn at midnight. The slave had one path, walked it. No existential crisis. You have infinite paths, stuck at the crossroads, making vision boards, attending webinars about finding your passion, reading your 10th book on purpose, still haven't moved. Freedom of choice? That's not liberation. That's analysis paralysis with a motivational Instagram caption. The slave knew his prison, chains he could see. Yours looks like opportunity. But the chains get more invisible than that.
Let me show you what actually owns you and how you volunteered for it. You owe strangers your life. The slave was owned by one master. You're owned by J.P. Morgan Chase, Sally Mae, Visa, and your mortgage lender.
Borrowed $100K for college before you could legally drink? Signed 30 years to a bank for a house they own? Financed a car that loses value daily? Credit card for the lifestyle? Payment plans for furniture? You can't quit. Can't travel, can't risk, can't rest, because the second you stop earning, the house of cards collapses. But you call it building assets, investing in your future. How sweet. The bank loves your investment in their yacht. The slave's master was visible. Yours hides behind interest rates and credit scores and terms and conditions you never read. Both of you equally owned. And you became something even more pathetic, the product selling itself. The slave's identity came from his tribe, who he was, what he did with his people. Yours comes from what you consume, the brand you wear, the car you drive, your aesthetic, your vibe, your carefully curated feed. You work to afford the identity you bought, then work more to upgrade it, then photograph it, then post it, then refresh obsessively to see if strangers validated that you exist. You're a product, marketing yourself to yourself while calling it authenticity. The slave knew who he was naked. Strip you of your brands, you're nobody. Literally, you disappear. And the chain that makes this permanent? You compare yourself to infinity. The slave compared himself to 50 villagers, manageable, sustainable, human scale. You, 5 billion people through a glowing rectangle of permanent inadequacy. Every single day, someone younger, richer, prettier, more successful, better body, dream career, perfect relationship, ideal life. You're never enough, always behind, always inadequate, always failing. And you do this voluntarily, 50 times a day, while calling it staying motivated and getting inspired. The slave had limited comparison, stable self-worth. You have unlimited comparison, permanent self-loathing, impressive evolution. But here's what should make you furious.
They convinced you this is normal, that crushing debt is adulting, that emptiness is just life, that exhaustion is the grind, that comparison torture is motivation. It's not normal. It's engineered, specifically to extract maximum productivity from you before you die. Watch how sophisticated this is. You spend 8 hours making someone else rich. Call it your career, because they gave you a title. Then spend 2 hours scrolling content designed by algorithms to make you feel inadequate. Call it decompressing. Then buy something you don't need with money you don't have to impress people you don't like. Call it self-care and treating yourself. Then set your alarm for 6 a.m. to do it again. Post about your hustle, your grind, your dedication. The slave worked sunrise to sunset and then stopped completely. Was with his people, told stories, laughed, lived. You work until midnight. Then relax by consuming more content,
Optimizing your morning routine for tomorrow's productivity, learning new skills to stay relevant, building your personal brand. Your rest is consumption. Your hobbies are side hustles. Your relationships are networking. Your existence is economic activity. You monetized your entire life, and you're proud of it. You put entrepreneur in your bio. You know what the slave had that you don't? An enemy he could identify. His oppressor had a face, a name, an address. He could dream of fighting back, of revolution, of freedom. You? Your oppressor is everywhere and nowhere. The system, society, the algorithm, market forces, the way things are. So you can't fight it. You don't even try. Instead, you fight yourself. Blame yourself for not being productive enough. Optimize yourself. Fix yourself. Improve yourself. Hack yourself. Upgrade yourself. The system doesn't need to oppress you anymore. You do it yourself, more efficiently than any master could. You internalize the overseer. The slave dreamed of a day without chains. You don't even realize you're chained. So you never dream of freedom. You just dream of being successful enough that the emptiness stops hurting. Spoiler from 5 millennia of observation. It never stops. But here's the twist you're not expecting.
You want me to tell you how to escape, give you 7 steps, a framework, a system. Here's the problem. You can't escape to anywhere because you don't know what freedom looks like. The slave knew exactly. No chains. Simple, concrete, clear. You have no chains, and you still feel imprisoned. Why? Because your prison isn't external. It's not the job, not the debt, not the comparison, not the consumption. Your prison is the question itself. Who am I? What's my purpose? Am I living up to my potential? Did I choose right? Am I wasting my life? Am I enough? I watched one of you spend 15 years trapped in these questions. Quit 3 careers searching for his calling. Tried meditation, 3 therapists, 2 life coaches, 17 online courses, read 200 books on self-development, went to Bali for spiritual awakening, journaled every morning about discovering authentic self. Know what he never did? Build anything, create anything, commit to anything. 15 years searching for himself, found nothing, because there was nothing to find, only things to build through action. He spent $87,000 finding himself. The slave spent $0 being himself. Guess who felt more complete? The slave never asked, "Who am I?" He just was. Identity was given by his role, his people, his actions. Brutal, yes, but psychologically, free from the infinite loop of self-interrogation. You modern humans are free to create your identity, which means permanent identity crisis. You can't just be. You must constantly become, optimize, transform, evolve, find yourself, discover yourself,
express yourself. The slave could blame chains. You blame yourself for not figuring out who you are yet. Ancient slavery, trapped body, free mind, could imagine freedom. Modern slavery, free body, trapped mind, can't even imagine what freedom would feel like because you've never experienced it. That's why you're more trapped than he ever was. At least he knew he was enslaved. But before I show you the exit, you need to see what this costs.
Here's what I've watched for 5,000 years. Sarah reaches 40, then 50, then 60, still searching, still figuring it out, still one more course away from clarity. That promotion she grinded for a decade, got it, felt empty 3 days later. That house, bought it, still wakes up hollow. That relationship, found it, brought all her emptiness into it, then wondered why it didn't fix her. Because she tried filling internal void with external achievement, tried finding herself in accomplishments, tried becoming enough by accumulating more. The slave had none of that delusion. He knew circumstances were the problem. Change circumstances, feeling changes. Sarah changed jobs 5 times, cities 3 times, relationships 4 times. Emptiness followed her everywhere because it was never about the circumstances. I watched Sarah die at 78. Still figuring it out, still waiting to feel ready, still one insight away from finally living. You don't have 80 years. You might not have 8 or 8 months. So here's the actual exit.
I'm not telling you to reject modernity and live in a cave. That's stupid. Ancient slavery was horrific. I'm not romanticizing it. What I'm saying, the slave had accidental advantages you need to reclaim deliberately. He had limitation. You need to choose it. Stop keeping options open. Pick one path, one career, one city, one focus. Go deep. One real skill for 10 years beats 10 superficial skills for 1 year each. Depth beats width every time. I know, limiting yourself sounds like failure. That's because the system taught you that. The system profits from you staying scattered. He had clear purpose. You need to assign it. Stop searching for your calling. Just pick something useful. Do it. Purpose emerges from action, never from introspection. The slave built aqueducts, didn't find himself first, built first, became through building. You think, plan, journal, research, prepare. Never build, never become. He had forced community. You need to build it intentionally. 3 humans you see weekly beats 300 you follow digitally. Real tribe isn't your followers, it's who helps you move, who sees you at your worst, who stays. And stop asking, "Who am I?" That question is the trap, the infinite loop, the prison with no walls. Identity doesn't come from finding yourself. It comes from doing things repeatedly, consistently, over time. You don't discover who you are, you build who you are through committed action. The slave didn't find himself, he just was through what he did. You search forever because there's nothing to find, only things to build. The emptiness doesn't go away by adding more success, more things, more achievements. It goes away by subtracting, by choosing limitation, by committing to the specific instead of drowning in the infinite.
That next promotion won't fix it. That purchase won't fill it. That achievement won't complete you. The slave's advantage was enforced clarity. Limitation forced him to know what mattered. You have infinite options, which means you can waste entire decades figuring it out and never living. The emptiness isn't a problem to solve. It's a signal that you're not being anything while searching for what to be. Every day you ignore it, it screams quieter. Comment now. What's one limitation you're choosing this week? One constraint, one commitment, one specific thing you're going deep on. The slave had no choice. That was his curse and his accidental gift. You have infinite choice. Use it to choose limits. Write it public now. Because seeing the cage is step one. Walking out requires action. And speaking of prisons you can't see, next video I'm revealing the most dangerous illusion of humanity. We talked about modern slavery, but there's an illusion even more insidious, one that every civilization believed, one that destroyed empires, one that's destroying you right now. And when I reveal it, you realize you've been living inside this lie your entire life without knowing it. Be silent. Don't miss the utmost condemnation. 5 millennia. Same pattern. Same delusion. Most humans die believing they were free, never realizing they built cages from options. You saw yours today. The slave who knows he's enslaved can fight for freedom. The one who thinks he's free never looks for the exit. Until we meet again, mortals.